You just made an interesting point. You just said, well, we should just add a tax and not ban it, but just make it much more expensive. But do you really think that will stop people from smoking a lot? Because, smoking is very addictive. Nicotine's very addictive. So maybe it'll be like if you're addicted to heroin. It doesn't matter how expensive it is. You'll get it by robbery or stealing.
I think it cannot totally stop the smoker to buy, but I think it can help a little bit to reduce smoker, because I think most of smoker is labor, and when they have to use more strength to do work and they serious they have to smoke, and I think it can reduce a little bit. Yes.
And how about poor people that is a cigarette addictive? How can they buy a cigarette if you are increasing the tax?
I'm not sure, but I think if they know themselves they cannot buy, I think they will stop or find another thing to addict, such as my father. He quit from small around 1 year. He don't smoke cigarette anymore, and he find some gum, mint gum to chew and smoke, and he can quit from cigarette. I think it have many way to quit from cigarette, but we started slowly, and you will forget cigarette to smoke. Yes.
And do you think that if they don't have money to buy, they will steal it and it will be a criminal in the city?
I think it's one way. I don't know if they have a problem about the criminal. I think not all people will go to steal or find some money by a bad way, because every country have a law, and I think they will think when they do this it's not bad, it's not good, and they will don't want to go in the jail. Is that another point? If people can steal cigarette or steal money to buy some cigarette or drugs, I think some people can make it from dry grass or something from natural. What do you think to control this problem? I think we have to know first. We have to know what glass or what plant that they will make it to do a cigarette, and I think the police they have to destroy the area that plant the cigarette. I think it's not too much plant that we can use to make a cigarette. Yes, and I think it's not too yes, but some material like paper, they can use to be a cigarette too. No, that's only destroy a plant or good that make to smoke, not the paper to do it.
But I think it has to find a plant to make a cigarette, because you must know what plants can make and what plant cannot make it.
Okay, we've been talking about taxing it, making it more expensive, and fair enough. I think we've got over that issue. But again, the issue for me is really about being addicted. Okay, yes, it's dangerous. Yes, it causes you cancer, but it also gives smokers a lot of pleasure, as we heard in the lecture. I mean, isn't it up to people themselves if they want to have fun, but also put themselves at risk? Isn't that part of our human right?
How about make them an area to smoke in a building, such as some country have it?
I disagree with that, because I think it's a good idea that we make a building that use it to smoke, such as the Singapore airport or Mawbun Khong. but I think they will have a selfish people that when they want to smoke and they will smoke everywhere. They don't care who are around there, and they will get a disease from the secondhand smoke. And I think it's not good. Yes, because it have selfish people.
Okay then. Well, we've reached the end of the discussion period. I'd like to invite everybody now to summarise their position in about 1 minute. So Peppermint, can you start?
According to the lecture, as everybody know that the cigarette is not good for our health, but I think that people knows that what's the good thing and what's the bad thing, and there's many places for smokers that they could smoke in the private sector, and I think that smoking should not be banned because it's their ability to choose things that they know themselves that those things are good for their health and it's not good. But if they go in the private sector, that I just said, it's good for many people in the public.
All right, follow on.
Okay, in my attitude, I think cigarettes should not be banned. As we know, every smoker know that cigarette is not good, and they have a lot of chemical that can make them have a lot of disease, but they will not quit to smoke. So I think we should have some other way to reduce them to smoke, and I think it's like if they choose, because it's their lung, it's their body, it's their life. I think they can choose what they want to do and what they want to be.
Okay.
Well, in my opinion, I think cigarette should be totally banned from our society, because cigarette can cause a lot of disease, and it make a lot of people die per year. So I think cigarette should be totally banned from our society because it has more disadvantage more than advantage.
Can you expand? Can you give us a little more detail? You said it's got more disadvantages than advantages. What disadvantages exactly?
Disadvantage, for example, it make people who don't smoke, they smell some smoke from smoker. It's called passive smoke. So it can make people that don't smoking have some disease from cigarette, and it make female start to smoke around 840,000 people start
Okay.
to smoke. So
But you said it's got advantages as well. What are the advantages?
advantages from smoke is just a little bit, because when smoker smoke cigarette, they will feel relaxed, but in the short term, in the long term, it can make people die from the disease such as lung cancer or heart attack.
Okay. All right.
According to the lecturer, most of the people facing from problem about smoking, when people try to smoke, they will get addicted. Now in the US, 400.
Yeah, but what's your opinion? What do you feel about this issue?
It should be banned.
Okay, why?
Because now many people die from smoking, because it's caused many diseases such as lung cancer and high blood pressure. And I think teenager is smoke a lot, and people around them smell smoke. They will get disease too.
Okay. All right.
In my opinion, I think cigarette should be banned. According to the lecturer, now number of smoker in the world increase up more than ever, and the teenagers start to smoke more than ever. Yeah? And I think if cigarette not be banned in public, the younger teenager will start to smoke, and number of number of smoker will increase up, and people will suffer a lot of disease from cigarettes if cigarette not be banned.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think cigarettes should not be banned because it is the smoker freedom to smoking it. But we should have some test, like he says, to smoke, because it will not cause the problem with the other people. And according to him, I think he says about the good thing about the cigarette that can reduce stress. I think it's a good way to, when you really stress in your studies or with your work, you have a little bit to reduce your stress, and it will make you do well in the real work, your work.
Okay.
In my view, I think cigarette should totally ban for our society because as you can see, the passive smoker suffer more than 10 million people around the world, but the smoker just 400,000 in US.
Okay. Right, so you said it should be totally banned, right?
Yeah.
Because lots of people die.
Yeah.
But do you think it's going to be effective, the ban? Do you think it actually will stop people smoking?
Yes,
Why?
because it will. You have to make a campaign to reduce, not to stop them immediately.
Okay, well that's more interesting. All right. So how do you do that?
I think we have give them a nicotine gums, and make a test to have to do an activity together.
So the government should issue nicotine gun.
Yes,
Okay.
more than.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Great. Can you just get the next group in, please?